Alright.
Hey everyone, it's Talking Time with Caffeine here again. With Snick finally on video again.
Oh my.
And MarioTube. And guest starring his parents.
All fucking ready. Even though it's like technically 30 minutes early, but yeah, we started this 30 minutes early before we usually start it, so.
Hey Sparrow, welcome. Yeah, our first topic today, we can get this next topic later on. They're kind of connected. I've been wondering. I saw that movie. It was good.
What movie?
Homecoming.
Only saw part of it.
The Mary Jane. My favorite part was like oh, that's Mary Jane. That's MJ. Mary Jane. Cool. But anyways, I recently watched the video about loot boxes and DLCs, which was their reason of explaining why games, after 10 years, still cost $60 to buy. Apparently, they cost $60 to buy, even though it cost a lot more to make, because other people buy DLCs and loot boxes, and that apparently balances out how much the game cost to make.
I think that's total bullshit.
Mario, how do you take the wrist straps off the Switch?
Well, you see, you take them off by not putting them on in the first place because they're fucking pain in the ass.
Well, how do I take it off?
I think there's like a thing at the bottom that you... Honestly, I don't even know how you take it off. They don't even give you instructions, except for like on the box, which is stupid. So, yeah, I couldn't really tell you how. They might have it on the Switch somewhere, or if you look online.
Yeah.
I don't trust the wrist strap because they fucking almost got stuck on my Switch when I first put it on. I'm like, no, fuck that. Anyways, go on.
A quick food review. Ice is cool. Mountain Dew Ice it tastes okay. But anyways, yeah. So, what do you think about? Think that's what do you think? That's true or not? They use DLCs to bounce out the price of games.
I think that's total bullshit because of the deluxe or definitive versions of Wii U games that Nintendo's been putting out. For example, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That has all the DLC and that still costs $60. Even though the Wii U version costs $60, you needed to pay for DLC. And that had less content on top of that. So they added more content. Let's see. Then there's also going to be the upcoming, what's it called? Hyrule Warriors Deluxe, I think, where it includes all DLC, including content from the 3DS games, or game. So, yeah, I think the whole, it would actually be more than $60 argument is a total fucking lie.
What do you
Got
think?
it.
Oh, on top of that, 3DS games cost at least $30 or $40.
This is how you do it. Hang on. See this little switch right here?
Ah, nice pun.
Here's what we do to the patient. Ugh. There we go.
So, what's your? Now that you fix that problem, what's your opinion, Snick?
On the DLC.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It all depends on how it's implemented. Because some games like The Witcher 3 do it right, where DLC for $25 gives you 2 massive expansion packs. Like
that's expansion pack. Is that different deal?
It was sold as DLC.
Is that's really different? Is that different or the same thing? Expansion pack.
It's basically the same thing nowadays. But yeah, but the thing is, DLC that's only like cosmetic items only, or like one single weapon, or not much content for your money, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I really don't mind cosmetic DLCs because those are optional. Those are things that you don't have to have this. Makes you look cooler. It's the DLCs that you need to get to get an advantage in the games that I'm not a fan of. Oh, get this thing and you get an extra 500 lives.
Well, that's mainly with mobile games, strictly though. I haven't really seen any console games that have done that, unless maybe it was like a mobile game port.
I mean, well, the thing is, I'm playing Resident Evil Revelations 2. That game gives you the option to pay money to get extra lives in game, except you get so many extra lives in game, you basically never need them.
Personally, I just hate DLC in total because I feel as though that you shouldn't pay a set price for a game and then pay an extended price because developers didn't finish things fast enough. I mean, if it's free DLC, then I don't mind at that point. But if you have to pay for it, I think that's fucking shit. And it's like, especially if you're a 100% completionist. If you have to 100% games and you're playing a game that has DLC and you need to buy DLC to 100% it, basically, then that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know, so, like about thinking earlier, I don't know, I guess the expansion package are considered DLC, except that buying, like when I bought Warcraft or WoW, every 2 years they come up with a new expansion pack. I guess that's DLC because you have to buy a new.
I think the difference is that didn't you need to buy like CDs of them at first?
Yeah.
Well, I would say maybe that's what expansion packs originally were. They were meant to be like extensions that you needed to buy physically.
And then also some people have DLCs because their thing is like they're like 2 years apart. Or I guess patches and everything. Because you don't really have to buy patches. The patches are just automatically built into games.
Patches have nothing to do with the topic.
And but also, well, some DLCs are apparently they're available as soon as the game's launched. Oh, apparently we missed this by 2 days, so here's DLC you can buy.
Yeah, that's still fucking shit.
Well, there's some DLC that's already in the game's data, but it's intentionally locked off and said, "Oh, you gotta pay money. This is DLC."
Mm-hmm.
And then, is that the same thing as loot boxes, or are they different?
No.
Well, okay. Here's the thing: DLC versus loot boxes. Their core function is the same, but there's one big difference between the two. DLC, when you purchase it, you get it. No questions asked. Loot boxes, on the other hand, is a roulette. You basically play a fucking roulette just to see if you get a certain thing. If you want a specific thing, but you can only get it through loot boxes, good luck. And they can set that shit however they want, because we've seen it with Shit Ops 3, at least that's what I call it for people that don't know, because reasons, but yeah, Shit Ops 3 fucking does that shit big time, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Where you don't know what you're getting until you actually open it?
Pretty much.
And what's even worse is that you can get duplicates of the same thing, so you get an item, and then you later on get the same item. Fucking ridiculous. How about you just give me the fucking thing, and then call it a day? Not this fucking roulette bullshit. And yeah, with Shit Ops 3, people could argue, oh, but you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, you don't have to pay for it, but it's still fucking bullshit that there's a season pass that you buy, but it's only good for maps, and then when it comes to DLC weapons, you're shit out of luck. I mean, I don't think that makes any fucking sense, in my opinion. If you buy a DLC expansion pass or whatever, you should just get the fucking shit. No questions asked. The loot box thing shouldn't even be a thing to begin with. That was just a fucking scam that ended up working because people are so gullible. Oh my god.
And there's another thing. Wrong topic. What are season passes?
Season passes, basically, it's a thing that you buy that gives you access to all the DLC.
Okay.
I don't know why they call them season pass. Oh, well, actually, no, let me take that back. That's what it's supposed to be, but in the case of Shit Ops 3, it's not that, because it gives you most DLC, but not, like, the fucking last maps that they released for the fucking, the classic maps that they remastered. Oh, no, they don't give you those for season passes. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit, dude. Another thing that would piss me off about DLC is, okay, going back to Mario Kart 8, so you get Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U and you buy the DLC. Years later, they release the game again, except they give you the DLC and more content on top of that, all for free, but you can't get your money back on the DLC you spent years ago. Great fucking job, Nintendo. So at that point, you gotta wonder why they even have DLC if they're just gonna do that shit later on. Like, what's the point? Which is why I didn't even bother purchasing Mario Kart 8 because, well, the game is pointless, so why buy it? Well, at least the Wii U version is.
Well, Mario Kart 8 came with my Wii U last year.
Well, unfortunately, it's pointless now because no reason to buy it. It is inferior. So is all the Hyrule Warrior games. All those games on the 3DS and Wii U. Yep, that's all unnecessary. No, now we got the Switch version, which is superior to all the other versions.
So that means my Breath of the Wild is inferior to the Switch version.
Well, no, because you still have to pay DLC on Switch, so it's like the same.
Oh.
There's no definitive version of Breath of the Wild right now. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the future they actually release that.
I got this thing.
Is that a strategy guide?
Yeah, it's the Explorer's Edition. It's supposed to come with, like, a map. It's supposed to come with a guide and a map.
I just got the game.
Me too.
I only got the Explorer's Edition because it was the same price as the normal edition.
I don't know if I was able to afford the Explorer's Edition or not, but...
So Explorers doesn't have DLC built into it then?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It only comes with the collectible map and guide.
That's for the same price as a game of...
It's the same price as the normal version.
Wait,
so
it is?
Yeah,
fuck?
it is.
I got fucking ripped off then.
Yeah, that's a DLC, a built-in DLC. But yeah.
So wait, well that makes no fucking sense then. If they release the base game, but then they also release an Explorer's Edition for the same price, why have two different versions? Like what the fuck? That makes no sense whatsoever. If you're just gonna do that shit, then just have one version, not two.
Or at least lower the price of the non-expanded pack one.
Yeah, that too. I mean, at least then that would make more sense, but nope. I mean, you'd think that the Explorer's Edition would be more pricier, but nope.
And then, but you said mobile games DLCs are pay to win, unlike
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much all mobile games are pay to win. Clash of Clans, Candy
Candy Crunch.
Unless you get lucky and you're that skilled that you don't need to buy them.
Candy Cuck.
Like, do you buy DLCs? Nah, I don't need them. I'm just that good.
I mean, it's not necessarily DLC, it's just more of you pay for lives, pretty much. So you're not even getting extra content, you're just getting more chances to play the game without waiting. And that's why I don't like mobile games, because they pull that shit. Oh, and if you don't want to buy it and you try to progress, if you get far enough, some games will just fuck you over so hard that you're literally forced to buy shit just to progress. That's how retarded it is.
Or otherwise, you have to wait like 5 weeks to build up enough stuff to get yourself naturally. With me, with mobile games, I really never get to the point where I can do that, because I usually get bored of mobile games after a week or two. I'm like, okay, I'm bored now.
That's how most people are, actually.
I tried. What?
It says my short ADA attention span.
I tried playing Clash of Clans years ago when I was still in middle school, and I literally could not even get started with the game, because what would happen is I'd get some resources, but then I'd fucking get my base destroyed because I have no chance, and someone literally destroys the entire base. So then I have to fucking use the shield, build up whatever resources I can, and then it's just a cycle at that point. And the other problem is that you get more resources by attacking other bases, but in order to protect yourself, you have to have that shield up. But if you try attacking other bases, your shield will go down. So even if I go and attack other bases, there's still no point in doing that, because then I'll just get my base destroyed again and my resources taken. And literally, you're at a point in the game where it is impossible to play. Like, the game is literally unplayable unless you pay for resources. And eventually, I just said, you know what? Fuck this game. If it's gonna pull that shit, then fuck it. I'm not playing it. There's no fucking point. I'm not paying for it. It's free to play. So if it's gonna pull that shit, then they can go fuck themselves for all I care.
Yeah, the reason I played like Clash of Clans for like a year is because my friend got me into it, and my friend invited me to his clan, and we played together for about a year. But then we kind of drifted apart, and then without him reminding me to play, whatever, I lost interest. But yeah, but gaming with friends and other stuff like that brings us to our next topic. Snick?
I don't know, it's just me redundantly stating how I have trouble making friends. And Vandeli saying that drifting apart shit just made it worse for me. I mean, he gave me some words of encouragement yesterday, saying that sometimes people drift back. I mean, I was doing better this week. One of the guys I'm rooming with actually took me to the gym, and he was having me do strength training.
I could use some of that.
I mean, he wants to be a personal trainer later on after he graduates, so I guess I get to be one of his test students.
Why not, right?
Yeah. So
I remember years ago, there's a couple friends of mine in Colorado that they invited me to go to this community pool, and there was a gym there, and so we decided to go to their indoor gym, and then after doing whatever exercise thing they do with them, then we went and swam for a while, and it was pretty interesting. Though, it's weird because, I don't know, I feel really off-putted whenever I'm at a gym, because I always feel like that I'm not fitting in, which, I guess that would be an intended pun, but, yeah, I just don't feel like that I'm supposed to be there or something, you know what I mean? Like everyone, like I feel like everyone's staring at you because you're not fit.
But so I know it's not the way too. But that's the whole reason I'm going to that point, you're going to show off, not going just going there to show off to other people.
Oh, here's another thing too that I don't really get about gyms is what are you supposed to do there? Like, I know the obvious answer would be exercise, but there's more to it than that, obviously. Like, there's routines and shit, but where do you even get the information for routines?
I guess either a trainer or the internet.
And some gyms have classes.
Which I'm assuming you'd have to pay extra for than a standard gym membership.
Oh,
it depends on the membership, because sometimes classes are included.
Oh, Snick, I know you're not paying attention, watching the chat, but Sparrow and Pokesaurus are in the chat.
I know they're in the chat. I'm gonna pull it up and see if they said anything.
You're taking 2 gym class? What do you mean 2 gym classes? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you might be referring to the standard gym class and then another thing that's kind of part of it.
Mm.
I really took gym since 9th grade. That's probably why I'm in such bad shape right now. Even though I do walk, I ride my bike occasionally, and I walk everywhere in the car. But
hey, Schnick, weren't we talking about RPG Maker MV on like episode 12? Weren't we saying something about that?
Yeah, we were talking about RPG Maker MV. I don't know. I was also rewatching all the shitty RPG videos that are available, and I don't know. I just feel like I need to see it again.
Sparrow, how good is RPG Maker MV? Because when I looked at footage of it, like the trailer for it, it didn't really seem to be that exciting at all.
I forget what version I got. I forget what version I got of RPG Maker.
I'm pretty sure what you got was MV.
Oh.
MV? Wait, what? No, MV is on the 3DS though, wasn't it?
No, FES is on the 3DS.
Oh, FES! Oh, my bad. Okay.
Well,
Alright.
Well,
fuck.
Back to Snick's friend problem. Apparently today I also learned that well, I'm an adult, but it's the older people, or I knew that for a fact, but Snick's parents got upset with their friends.
I don't know, the whole thing is, when I was a kid, I was, like I mentioned how I did something stupid in 3rd grade that resulted in me getting my game privileges on weekdays taken away. And I think that may have contributed to me not really being able to go to other kids' houses and play games with them, because anytime I was invited, I would have to decline because I wasn't allowed. And by the time the rule finally got removed, by the time I graduated high school, it's like by then it's too late. You're not forced into situations with other kids anymore. Like in college classes, unless it's a class for your major, and it's like just a general requirement, you'll just go to class and then you may never see those kids in your class ever again aside from it.
That's true. I made a few friends my first year of college with some kids, but after that semester I didn't really see them around that much.
That sounds like my situation the past couple of years. Like, it's literally the last 2 years of my high school life is what you just said. If it's a standard class, then yeah, you're probably not going to make friends. But if it's like a class that you chose to take, then that can be a different situation altogether. And that has been true. Though for me it was fake friends mainly. But
and that's another topic. Like, what would you define a fake friend as? Someone who pretends to like you but kind of considers you only an afterthought? or someone who pretends to like you and just literally pretends you don't exist?
Basically, a fake friend that pretends to be your friend and does shit that wouldn't be friendly, per se.
I say it's someone who's your friend to your face, but when you're not around, they talk about you and make fun of you.
I mean, that's one fake friend, but I don't think the term fake friend applies to one kind of person altogether.
I mean,
a mixture of people, I would say.
I'll admit, like, recently I've been thinking that maybe it's just me, but I feel like everyone talks behind everybody's back. Like, everyone has flaws that people always don't want to bring up to the person in question. And I don't know, like, nobody's perfect, but should you really start bad-mouthing people when you discover they're talking behind your back?
Yeah.
When in fact they might be talking about legitimate flaws you may have?
Well, if they're your friend, they would be talking. They would be like, if they would be helping you with that the problem that they have or whatever. They wouldn't be like making fun of you. That's something behind your back. They'd be like, so blah 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 this or blah 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 that. They would be like, hey, you hear about Snick? He plays whatever. Really? Yeah. I'm talking about behind your back. If they're really your friend, they wouldn't do that. If it's a legit problem or not.
But I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling people don't realize that's a bad thing.
No, they think they realize. I think they realize that.
Well, every situation is different, I suppose.
Everything you're saying is not raising my confidence any higher.
Sorry, it's just. I've been talked about behind my back before.
I mean, if you want to know a person that does that kind of shit, ask Brandon and ask him about. I don't remember the name specifically, but he went by BA. I think.
Is Brandon at home right now? Can we call him?
Well, I mean, Schnick tried calling a group call with him included, and he never answered, but I suppose we can try again.
Even
though yesterday he promised to call me after he was done with CTR, but he never did.
You have connections that we don't have.
Him or me?
You do.
Oh. Alright, let's see if he answers.
And I don't know, like, at the time when I wasn't able to befriend anyone because of my situation, like Pokesaurus, like, for example, without naming names, there's one friend who is just not available, but he always tells me why he's not available. And then there's another friend that I ask if he want to hang out, and then he just gives me vague answers, or sometimes he'll just bluntly say no. And then even though he's well aware that I want to hang out with him, he just makes no effort on his part to do anything.
Wait, so what's the question?
Like, basically, I'm just trying to show two different scenarios. One where I think it's okay, and one where it's not.
Well, since Brandon isn't answering, I'll try explaining what I know. So, with this person went by BA, or at least I think it's BA, I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, so he would seem fine whenever I was around, but then, according to Brandon, when I wasn't around, he would be shit-talking me, saying how I'm retarded and this and that, and, you know, I don't know specifically what he would say, but I guess mainly stuff like he's retarded and he's fucking stupid and this and that. And since Brandon had access to my PS4 account at the time because he downloaded games for me because I allowed him to do so, he ended up blocking him off my friends list without telling me. And the whole purpose of this was so then he's protecting me but without raising any alarm, and I guess I never noticed until after some period of time I eventually realized what was going on. Well, kind of. Not entirely, though. But, yeah, he never told me, and I don't know. I mean, it's a weird situation. I mean, I'm not saying that Brandon was in the wrong for blocking him for me and going into my account. I mean, he wasn't, like, doing anything suspicious. So, there's that. Eventually, though, the friendship did end altogether with the me and BA and Brandon and BA because of what happened one day. BA was at Brandon's house, and I don't know specifically I don't know how it led up to this part, but at some point during the visit, BA ended up breaking a fucking chandelier. Like, it was a huge chandelier, fucking broken, and BA didn't even apologize for it. So he was promptly kicked out of the house, and they don't talk anymore after that. Brandon also said that BA would try and scam people all the time. So I don't know about you, but BA sounds like a fake friend to me.
I don't know, like, to me, I kind of had a situation that was a lot more frustrating and disheartening, where the aforementioned friend who, I always keep asking to hang out, and he either gives vague answers, no answers, or the answer no. The thing is, he doesn't do, like, shady shit. As far as I can tell, he's just a normal kid. But it's like he baits me. Like, he gives the idea that, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with hanging out with you. Yeah, that's fine. We had good times as kids. And then he pulls that. Like, basically baiting me along, like, saying that we're still going to be hanging out, we're still friends, and then he never messages me unless I message him, and when I message him, I get negative answers without much explanation. Like, I don't even know how else to word it.
So what are you saying?
Like, to me, like, probably the worst kind of friend is someone who truly does pretend to be your friend, but just doesn't care about you.
I used to have a saying a few years ago. I guess it still fits. Or maybe it was in high school I had the saying. But it was, I'd rather you be my enemy than pretend to be my friend.
I think those are good words.
Oh. So I thought your quote was, "I'd rather have no friends but than fake friends."
I'd rather have any friend, but still, I'd rather you be my enemy up front than pretend to be my friend this whole time.
Yeah, honestly, I like that quote better.
I had a similar situation with one particular person last year. Basically, I tried being friends with this one person, and he says, yeah, okay. So, then he kind of talks to me at first, and I quickly realized that we don't have too many things in common, but I try to keep whatever I can with the conversation, and it gets to a point where eventually he doesn't even say anything to me anymore. So, like, literally the last conversation I had before I gave up being friends with this person was, I asked him, how was he doing? He said fine, nothing else. And then, ironically, I asked about the weather, I think, and he just gave me a general response. And then I pretty much just sat there waiting to see if he would say something to me, and I literally sat there for probably about 5 or 10, maybe 15 minutes latest. I'm not really sure how long, but the length of time I sat there doesn't really matter. I mean, at the least it was 5 minutes. So, eventually I realized that I was getting nowhere with him, and I decided that if he wasn't going to say anything to me at all, then what was the whole fucking point of being friends? So, if he's not going to say shit to me, why should I even bother? So, I pretty much handled the situation from that point by literally getting up, sitting somewhere else. He didn't even say anything to me. Oh yeah, I actually forgot a detail. He never looked at me that last time. Not once. He didn't, like, literally he was sitting with his eyes looking somewhere else, but when I was talking to him, just not even looking at me the entire fucking time. So, the way I handled the situation at that point was I got up, sat somewhere else, and then decided not to sit with them for the rest of the year. Or period at that point.
I mean...
And then on top of that, apparently he hates me because, well, basically the situation as to why he hates me is this. In my video class last year, he wanted me to help him and another person, K-Gun Gaming. They wanted my help to film something. They wanted me to be the cameraman, and I agreed to that, so, you know, I filmed their stuff. And I asked them if I could use their footage so that I can turn it in for my own grade, not intending to have it go on the announcements. And they agreed to it. So I edited the footage that I helped them record, and I submitted in. And what ended up happening was my version came up before their version came up, even though I didn't want my version up in the first place. So when it first aired, the person in question came up to me really pissed off at me, and at that particular moment, I kind of had to be a little bit tough with him, I suppose. I mean, I don't know if tough is the right word or not, but I had to be tough because he's pissed off about the fact that it was up on the announcements, and all I could really tell him was, sorry, but there's not much I can do now, because it's already playing. What do you want me to tell you exactly? Because there's literally nothing I can do. So, I was kind of speechless on what to tell him. So I told the teacher the situation, and he grabbed at me and the other person. We all had a talk, and the other guy's problem was, oh, now because my version came up first, or actually no, I need to talk in his position. Sorry. Okay, talking in his position, he basically said, oh, well, his version came up before my version, so now my version can't be played because people will think it's a knockoff version. And my thinking was, who cares? It's a fucking school announcement thing anyways, so are people really gonna be that upset about it? I don't really think so. So, the teacher just straight up told him that they can still play his version, they just won't play my version anymore because I didn't want my version up in the first place. And I told the teacher that all I wanted to do with it was to have it turned in as credit, not for announcements. And, at that point, I thought everything was settled, but then when K-Gun told me that he was still pissed off about that at me, basically, I think of that person as a dick now, because if that person is still pissed off at me about the fact that that happened last year, then he can fuck off, because there's no reason to still be upset about that. Honestly, there is no fucking reason. If you're still salty about a situation like that, then you need to really rethink your fucking position in your situation. Like, big time. Because at that point, you're just a fucking asshole if you're still going to be salty.
Hauser has no room for fake people in his life. He doesn't tolerate it.
I've had fucking a lot of fake people in my school the past 2 years is not even funny.
I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a saying that you're only gonna have a few close friends in life, but
not really.
So far, huh?
I don't think that's true. Maybe it's true, but I think as time, I think really some people you meet will come and go throughout your life. You'll make new friends. Like I've made I've made friends. People I talked in high school, I really talk to anymore because I made friends at work that have come and gone, and some are still there. I made friends of you guys. You've come into my life at later points of my life. But with Hauser, I met him at my one job. I met Matt Hauser here at my Dollar Tree job like 10 years ago, and we're still friends. But I did not know him in high school at all.
I mean, my big thing is I just don't want people. I don't like it when people just drift apart for no reason. Like, way I see it, when people start talking to each other, like, sure, if there's reasonable circumstances, then that's okay. Like, if someone moves away or something like that, and you still, like, maybe keep occasional contact on, like, Facebook or something, but just actively someone that you knew when you were a kid, and he's still in town, he's still well, he's not in trouble or anything, and you constantly ask him if you want to get together, and then he says no for no real reason, just because, oh, drift apart, that just feels wrong.
I've had that situation, like, how many times? I think 3 times. One time was when a person was living in my neighborhood, literally up the street, like a few houses away. They moved and lost contact at that point. Only saw them at their apartment one time, and there were circumstances that I don't want to talk about. And then another time was when there was neighbors across the street from me, and that was an awkward time for me because they were a Christian family, and they were the kind of people that literally told me to my face that saying heck is horrible. Well, not necessarily. Well, they didn't say specifically it was horrible, but that's basically the message they were giving me. And I think that's total fucking bullshit.
I thought heck was like the more... You want to say hell?
No, they didn't even. No, they didn't even want to hear heck. Oh, and by the way, anyone
hear heck.
By the way, anyone that says hell is a bad word, yeah, I guess technically hell can be a bad word, but why is it considered to be that bad of a bad word? Just like saying fuck. I mean, fuck is an action. So
fuck.
Exactly. And then cunt. That's a body part for females. Like,
Ew.
What do you what do you expect? Like, why are those considered bad words to like the fucking total holiness for society?
Probably a bad word 50 years ago when people were still in that 50 year ago mentality. So society moves on. Society evolves. Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, being gay was a bad word, but now it's not.
Well, yeah, but we still have all these other words that's still considered bad, and I don't get why. I mean...
Because people aren't involved yet.
I mean, here's the thing. Telling someone that they're fucking worthless, that, yeah, I'll agree, that's not good. But just cussing in general, like, saying... This game is fucking stupid, for example. Like, cussing out an object like that.
Like the shitty RPG?
Yeah, why is that such a bad thing? Or just saying the phrase, I am going to take a shit, that's bad. Why? shitting is a thing that people do all the fucking time. Why is that considered bad? That to me makes no sense.
Again, it's because some people are still stuck in that 1950s mentality.
No, fucking society is stuck in a permanent time warp, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm trapped in the past.
But bringing up Snick's problem again, actually, it's not much of a problem now. Is because when I was growing up and we drifted apart, we didn't have the internet. We had the internet. It was still on its what's the word? Foundation. It was still on its infancy. You know, we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have MySpace. We didn't have, you know, we had the AIM and we had home phones. Cell phones were still like. When I graduated, cell phones were a luxury item. And those were the giant brick phones.
And smartphones are still luxury items.
but still, we didn't have ways to keep in touch when we moved out of the state or went to college or we had families. So me growing up like that, you know, I didn't really have the option. Let's we like snail mail each other, something like that, or we had basic email, I guess. We did that a few times too, but we didn't have the big social networking to keep in touch with each other. So it's easier for us to drift apart.
What about AOL Instant Messenger?
Well, that's what he said.
Well, he said AIM.
Oh, AIM.
That is AIM. Yeah, yeah. We had that too, but I didn't really get an AOL until like I was already 24.
Oh wow.
I mean,
I had Hotmail back in the 90s. I had Yahoo. Yeah. It was easier to drift apart back then, I guess, but I guess nowadays we have ways of not doing that more easily.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, am I supposed to create a social media?
Not, I mean...
It's like, how would I
meet
It's like, how would I meet people to befriend? Like, or at least try to talk to?
Well usually social media starts with people you already know. You friend the people you already know first, and then go from there.
For me, it's always been pretty much just keep to yourself until you find someone with similar interests. Because the thing was, going back to that one person, how we didn't have very many interests, the whole friendship thing didn't last, and there could be a whole number of other factors, but I think the whole not having many interests to begin with thing was a big factor in play. But then when it came to another person that I know now that had similar interests with me, that formed a friendship. Though what's interesting is the reason why the friendship started was not only because of the fact we had similar interests, but because of the fact that in my class they made us do the, go up to people and say your name and, you know, whatever fucking classes do. And I find them to be usually stupid, but ironically that's why I'm friends with this one person. And I think about how, what if that didn't happen? I mean, it's not like we wouldn't take the same class still, but just that specific thing we did never happened. If that didn't happen, would me and that person still be friends?
You know, it's funny.
Not for as long, but...
You know, it's funny, like, sometimes friendships and partnerships can start because of that kind of minor stuff that could have easily not happened. Like, there's one professor at my school, I actually formed a bit of a friendship with him. Like, I helped him put together a whole conference that was done in front of the whole school, and we were putting together a highlights reel to showcase on YouTube, and we even went to dinner celebrating the completion of the highlights reel. And that all started because I had to go to his office to help him fix his DVD player.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Here's another interesting thing to think about. Friendships with people that are significantly older than you, or maybe significantly
Like, honestly,
younger than you.
that's how it feels with me. Like, I feel like I get along easier with people that are far older than me. Like in the previous situation with the one friend that doesn't really talk to me. I talked to his dad pretty recently, and he was very friendly with me.
I think I have the opposite situation, really. I've always made friends with people younger than me.
Well, that's kind of the case
example.
with me, too. My childhood friends were a couple years younger than me.
Yeah, I guess I'm a living example, huh?
Fuck, damn it. Bitch.
Yeah. And also shared interests. That's how all the three of us met. Shared interests.
Yeah, that too.
Oh my god.
But
Well, Schnick was the reason why I met you, pretty much, but... still.
and vice versa. And no, I did not know that Pokesaurus.
The stupid ogre.
I personally just think that forming the friendship is the hardest part. If you can get past that and everything goes smoothly from there, then you're golden, I think. Unless something major happens.
I really freaking wish I knew how to repeat Strike Gold on YouTube like how I did with all of you.
Strike Gold? What do you mean?
Like, talking to people on YouTube and maybe befriending them.
You're saying that hasn't happened?
Well, obviously it has. Who am I sitting with in the Skype call? But
well, no, because you said, you're saying. That's what I'm saying, though. You're saying that as though it hasn't already happened again.
When was the last time it happened?
Sparrow. What about him? What about Mario?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they come in the chat, but not always.
Well, I mean, that's kind of to be expected with viewers, in my opinion, but, I mean, you're saying that that kind of thing hasn't happened again, yet it already has, and I don't know if you just haven't realized it or what.
Maybe I have.
And the whole thing you gotta remember, too, with me, at least, is the fact that you literally asked me to pair up with you and, what's the word? Collaborate. You want to do a collaboration with me. That was the whole reason why it went from viewer to creator to online friendship.
Yeah. What's the question? Speaking of friends, off same topic. What do you consider the difference between a friend and an acquaintance?
Acquaintance. That's easy.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh. Well, my definition would be an acquaintance is someone that you're friendly with, but not like having the relationship to a full friendship. Like you'll get along easily with the person, but you and the other person don't exactly have too much interest to go further with it. Whereas a friendship is, well, I mean, I guess you could say it starts out as an acquaintance, but then it eventually does evolve into a friendship.
Yeah, that's kind of how we all started. Like, Vandalia was just occasionally in my YouTube videos for like 2 years until we did KH1, I guess.
What were you gonna say, Schnick?
Well, I was just gonna say that an acquaintance is like someone you know and will talk to on occasion, but you're someone that you don't really go out and do things with.
You don't like you won't like what's the right? I say risk your life for them, but you would go out on a limb for them. You'd be like, hey, how you doing? Okay, nice seeing you. Bye.
Yeah. Like all the people in my current video team, I'd say are acquaintances.
Passing the night.
Oh fuck. I'm just trying to think. But yeah, like I feel like I've made many acquaintances, but it never feels like I could actually progress it to a friendship. Like, aside from, like I said, some people that are older than me.
Well, I guess it just depends on this situation. Not exactly an easy answer for everyone, I suppose.
So you have older friends. You have older friends at your college, then? Or?
I mean, well, like I said, there's that one professor, and there's a couple of other professors that you could argue I've kind of befriended them, but it's more of like a business partnership, almost like business friendship. Like, oh, help me to help you.
Or like a working relationship.
Yeah, working relationship. Like, I wouldn't say it's acquaintance, but like things aren't strictly business. Like, we actually ask each other about our interests. We actually learn more about each other.
I don't really make that many friends at work. I guess I do make some friends at work. It's just I don't know, because I don't know how long they're going to be there. So.
Yeah, well, don't forget you work in a place that probably has a high turnover rate.
That is true.
Yeah.
I made friends at. Yeah.
Turnover rate basically tells you how many people quit because it sucks.
Oh, that.
I used to when I was younger. I made friends. A lot of people my age. I was still their age, but now I'm getting older and more high schoolers there, and I don't feel like I have not much in common with them as I used to. So I'm old now. They seem, I don't know, they seem very, a lot of them seem very immature to me. I don't know if I was that way when I was in high school and I matured, or if they're more immature than I was when I was in high school.
Hey, don't take this as rude or anything, but
MarioTube's playing Splatoon.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't take this as rude or anything, but I'm going to play this game for a little bit because Splatfest is going to be ending in about half an hour, and I actually want to get this in a little bit for like the first time in several months, so like the opportunity is either now or never at this point.
So while you're leaving the podcast?
No. I'm just doing a schnick.
Okay, well I'm playing Resident Evil Revelations.
And I'm not playing anything. So I guess we can talk about Pokesaurus's topic now.
What is it?
I can't really change it because Mario has controlled the OBS. But apparently his topic is monsters in movies and TV shows.
Honestly, that's actually pretty interesting because I talked about the story idea I have. That's what it's themed after. Kind of.
So what is it?
Like, basically, like I talk about how there's 4 different story arcs. Like, imagine there are 4 different TV series.
Okay.
So, like, the first series would begin, like, with a bunch of high school students, as well as the uncle of one of the high school students, who's basically, I believe he would be either a police officer or a private investigator. Not sure which. Yet.
Was this from? I think I remember this. Was this from your series that lasted like 3 different generations, like that, or 3 different time eras?
I mean, yeah, like essentially the 4th series would like cover the entire history. But I'm gonna stop Resident Evil for a minute. So basically the whole point of the first series is that, well, the main villains of the first series are essentially a group, is basically a terrorist group, primarily made up of what the series kind of of what the in-series government nicknames artificial demons. Basically, they're descendants of the families from the origin story. Well, most of them, and they were experimented on by the U.S. government, because the thing is, the origin story established that essentially in a kind of Harry Potter-style universe, a bunch of supernatural creatures, monsters, and whatnot existed, and there was and kind of like witches and wizards in Harry Potter, there was a secret group called Hunters that basically maintained civilization with the good species while making sure that the bad ones wouldn't hunt like the rest of mankind. But then due to a turn of events, most of those species went extinct thanks to basically the villain of the origin story. And almost 200 years later, the U.S. government decides, oh, in order to get an edge on all the other countries, why don't we perform experiments and kind of try to bring some of this stuff, why don't we try to weaponize it? And what results is the group of villains from the first series, and essentially they keep making public statements. They keep saying the U.S. has to confess to their crime publicly, or else they will release plagues that will bring the monsters back.
Like, turn people into monsters?
Kind of, yes. And obviously the U.S. government, we do not negotiate with terrorists, and thus scattered reports of, like, vampirism and stuff like that start occurring, including in the hometown of the main characters.
Like, based on, like, real life events?
Honestly, the origin story would probably feature a shit ton of... It would kind of be like Benjamin Button, where, like, a lot of, like, real-life events get worked into it. But no, like, every other series would be fictional.
That's what I kind of did with my series. I never finished it. I took my real-life events and kind of fictionized them.
Well, I know that in the origin story, like, essentially, the mass extinction occurs a little bit after the Civil War. In the third, like, I would say if the origin series were to be a TV series, it would be 10 seasons. The third season would be in the early 1900s, and an apocalyptic event occurs, like, basically, I don't know how to describe it, but basically, just say an apocalyptic event occurs, the cover-up for it is the 1906 San Francisco earthquake.
Nice. So, question, are any of the characters based on you?
Well, actually, quite a few of the characters are based on people I know. Like, for instance, in the original series primarily, like, not the origin series, like the first series where everything, like, basically, here's what it is. Series 1 takes place in the 2010s, and it follows, like, the way the series is supposed to begin. Series 2 is in the 2020s, and it follows some of the villains from the first series basically going on a redemption story. Series 3 would be in the 2060s, where society is completely changed because of the events in the first two, and there's like a new cast of characters that have different threats to face. And throughout all three of the first series, there's like a lot of questions as like the origins of like the different plagues and like the conflict that started it all. And by the end of the third series, the main characters there actually get access to an archive of the villain of the origin series. And the fourth series would explain everything. Like, it would be set from, like, the mid-1800s all the way up to, like, the very start, ending with, like, one of the first scenes of the original in the 2010s.
So kind of like a prequel?
Yeah, it's like, it would be a prequel.
Apparently, Pokestars wants you to look up something called Camo Beast.
Mm.
Not sure what that is.
Maybe that's why he wants you to look it up.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Like, that's why I feel like the Origins series should be like Benjamin Button, like where you just witness all these different historical events, or like Forrest Gump, kind of. Like, like, maybe some events that are, like, obviously more well-known, like maybe a Titanic reference, both World Wars. And then maybe some events that were disastrous and embarrassing, but maybe not as well-known. Like, for instance, in the mid-1910s, there was a town in the Midwestern United States that hung an elephant because it killed a guy that didn't know how to train it.
Wow.
And then in the late 70s, there was the worst airline disaster aside from 9/11. To make a long story short with the disaster, 2 airplanes were forced to land on a small airfield that got covered with fog, and when one of the airplanes got impatient on takeoff, the plane rammed into the other plane. Oh, Sparrow asks, any undead in the story? I mean, one of the members of the terrorist group, and I'm just gonna say the names of basically the names of like the villains in each of the original series are like named after like different mythologies. Like season 1, who is the overarching villains of the whole series, would be called the 7 Sins. And then season 2 gives us the 4 Horsemen, and then one season would be 13 Ghosts or something. And one member of the Sins is literally a guy who's undead. Like, essentially, if anyone's played Xenosaga, there's a villain in Xenosaga called Albedo. Basically, this character could be kind of like that. No matter what kind of physical trauma he endures, he cannot die. Period. Like, he does not age. He can survive any kind of freaking wound. Like, he'll just regenerate it. Though the backstory would not be the same. Like, essentially, when the experiments were done, he was a normal person, but then when he died, that's like the trigger that set it off. So he gets driven into insanity as a result, and he ends up going to extreme measures trying to make himself die, including recausing the apocalyptic event that would later be explored in the Origins series. But when it comes to answer Sparrow's question, I might have to look those up. It actually does kind of look interesting. But when it comes to other undead characters, yeah, there would be zombies actually. But unlike Walking Dead, I would not dedicate much time to them.
I'll just talk about this. Is make me realize I need to start procrastinating and work on my book. I've been working on it for like 20 at this point, like 20 years at this point, on and off. I just stopped being lazy and work on it. Like my main villain in my book is the ghost of an alien demon who possesses people, and he whispers the evil in their. I call him the voice of evil. And plus, there's other guys too who are bad.
Yeah, like, I would say, like, honestly, when I think about villains in Honestly, I think about villains I think would be really good in this series all the time. Like, for instance, like, at first, I thought the leader of the Sims was, like, the ultimate villain with actually kind of understandable goals. And then the villain of the future series was wanted to follow those same goals, but was completely misguided. And completely ruthless as a result. But then I thought about another villain in the Origin series that basically kick-started it all, and I thought, like, the perfect way that... And for one thing, this villain is actually is kind of inspired by Elizabeth Bathory, who got the infamous nickname the Blood Countess, where it was rumored that she would murder victims and literally bathe in their blood.
Ew.
And supposedly the crimes she committed were the inspiration for Dracula. So as a result, there actually is some fiction that actually depicts Bathory as a vampire, including Castlevania. Like in Castlevania Bloodlines on the Genesis, there's a character that kind of has the name of Elizabeth Bathory, but they change it up a bit. But in Castlevania's timeline, she's described as the daughter of Dracula, and how she basically caused World War I to bring Dracula back in another resurrection cycle.
You know what's funny? Most of these monster stories had their origins in the 1800s, like Dracula, Frankenstein.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know about the Mummy. I think maybe the Mummy was more recently than...
Maybe, but... I'm still trying to think, but... Oh, I got sidetracked. So I did say that there would be zombies in the series, like an actual, like, typical zombies.
You can Sparrow. You can try Sparrow. Don't know if it will accept it or not. Mario might have block links unless we're the ones linking them.
I have nothing to do with that.
But yeah, so all I know is that I would not feature zombies that much in this whole franchise, like probably once per series. Like maybe in the original series there'd be one episode that just focuses on a mansion of them and kind of a tribute to Resident Evil. Then the villain series, as I call it, in the 2020s, maybe that would be the only time they get extensive coverage when because the whole thing with the villain series is that each story arc is a single season.
Well, Sparrow, you can try if I can do the live chat, you can try later in the normal chat. I'm pretty sure you can post links to the normal chat. You can do that later after the podcast is over with.
Yeah, or just go on one of our comment pages, but on our channels, or just any comment, but now let me try to think again. So yeah, one season of the villain series might be another tribute to Resident Evil through having the story arc of one season being an outbreak in a city. Then the future series... Honestly, I got this idea when I was at Typhoon Lagoon in Florida. Essentially, I was in line to go on the storm slides. Vandalia, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't go to the water slide park.
Alright, well, essentially, at Typhoon Lagoon, I was going on the storm slides, which were just typical water slides. There was this little girl in front of me. Right as she was about to get on the ride, she immediately started having a bloody nose, and blood started dripping on the floor.
Wow.
And she was one step away from getting on the slide, and that blood would have gotten into the water.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh my god, imagine if there was an outbreak in a water park kind of like that. And sure enough, like, there would be a two-part... Like, honestly, if... Once again, visualize it as a TV series. I can imagine a two-parter episode in the future series where the main cast decides to check out this futuristic water park, only for the villain, in an attempt to discreetly kill them all off, causes a zombie outbreak in the water park after the virus had been dormant for 40 years. And there you go. And then the Origin series would just occasionally show them as enemies. Not that big a deal. But then, who knows about the movie The Crazies?
Never heard of it.
It was actually made by George Romero, who's considered the father of zombie movies.
I've heard of him.
Essentially, The Crazies is, well, there was the original Romero version of the movie, and then there was a remake. The remake was pretty good. Essentially, there's a virus in the movies called the TTwC virus, which isn't a zombie plague, but it basically makes people violent and crazy. Hence the title. Kind of think the Plagas infected individuals in the Resident Evil games, where they're intelligent, they know how to communicate, but they're infected with something. They're all crazy. Essentially, one episode of the Future series that I would want to do is all the characters who are like high school age go to a school dance. Except a plague that causes similar crazies to emerge is thrown into the punch, or whatever drink that they have at the dance. As a result, the students are infected with the plague, and they start grabbing like fire axes off the walls and start hacking all the people that aren't infected. And then the big obstacle in stopping this plague and preventing it from spreading is the fact that, so, there is a police officer, like, he's chief of police character in the Future series. He's actually the son of the detective private investigator from the original. And they end up doing research through the archives of the main villain from the original series, and they find out this plague that causes the crazies to emerge, the last outbreak of it occurred 200 years prior. So literally there's nothing and no one that still exists that can tell them how to stop it. Because they don't have the information on it. Like, the only information they have is that the last outbreak occurred 2 centuries prior. How's that sound?
Is that your thing or someone else's thing?
Well, it's my thing.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. The only problem is I would have to figure out a reason, like, well, for one thing, I can't include events like that all the time, or else, like, all the students in the school are going to be dead. So maybe that's like a one-time thing. And, like, I don't know. All I know is that's a work in progress.
So is mine. Have you written any of this down, or is it just in your head?
Have I written? It's pretty much all in my head.
Yeah, I've written some of my stuff down. I need to write more of it down, get organized. The funny thing is, I even bought software to help me write this stuff down, but then the software now also the software keeps complicated to me. Like, okay, this is how you do plots. This is plots, themes, genres. Okay. Character development, like, okay, over my head now.
No more ogre head. No more scream anything.
I can't. And I know what it is. I was reading it wrong. I can't see what I gave Sparrow the link to the Discord to put ideas in, but I can't see it. I can't see anything in it.
I mean, you can't see anything.
He says he posted something in the chat in the Discord chat, but I don't see it.
Hold on.
Oh my god, where is the ammo? You fucker. There's like no goddamn ammo. You fuck. And the thing's gonna break.
As you can find.
So now this is Brandon Breaks.
Oh, glad I named it that now.
Yeah, I'm glad you named it that.
So do you see it, Mario?
By the way, when I was
loading.
at the birthday party, I'm just gonna say this now, I showed the Crash Bash stream to the birthday boy.
Oh,
Damn
like
it.
I did not show Brandon Breaks though.
What do you think of it?
They thought it was insane. They loved it.
Damn it.
Not to mention, like, freaking, when they realized that Brandon was just fucking with you, they're like, oh, that's how. But then when I showed them him breaking Shrek, then they immediately resumed thinking it was crazy. But their big question was, why was he playing Shrek?
Because everybody asks. My favorite part is still the end where it's like, anybody brings anything else, I'm kicking them from the call. Snap.
Snap, crackle, pop.
I don't know what games. I think I sent. Anyways, I think I sent post the right link in chat. I posted the wrong link.
Oh my god. There were so many boxes filled with ammo, and then somehow they all freaking broke.
Because I'm pretty sure Sparrow and Pokesaurus are trustworthy people.
Sparrow is not in the Discord server.
Oh.
Like, he's not even in there at all. Let me see where your link leads to.
My god. The Ogre tries to catch those damn fairies.
Is the right link or?
Oh, nice. It just doesn't even give me anything. Okay. Hold on.
Son of a bitch.
Apparently the link didn't work. Apparently I don't know how to send links.
Hold on.
Why am I so entertained by the title of Brandon's 8th Shrek video?
Try that one, Sparrow.
Simple mind, this game. What's his 8th video called?
Brandon's video?
Yeah.
The Let's Play Shrek Xbox number 8. The Ogre tries to catch those damn fairies.
That's the way you think, I guess.
Yeah.
He's in your mind. He's in your mind.
No, I think anytime I think about that, I just remember how pissed he got in that video.
Not as pissed as Mario got.
No, in that video, Mario was just in goddamn redneck mode, encouraging him not to get it. My God.
I guess now it's time to learn about Discord.
Okay,
for Mario.
Sparrow.
This
yeah.
is bull.
Yeah, click open Discord. Because, well, how else do you get in it?
I was just sniping the goddamn
So yeah,
idiot.
click open Discord and see what happens.
Time to learn.
tries to catch those damn fairies.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm not good at Discord either. I'm slowly learning how to use it myself.
You fucker! No ammo!
That reminds me of my freak out on Shit Ops 3 where I go, what the hell? I didn't get any freaking ammo. There's an empty text bar that says add friend.
Friend request.
Hold on.
I'll tell you what friend request is. It's a shitty movie.
Oh.
Yeah, there is literally a shitty movie called Friend Request, which is literally a knockoff of Unfriended.
Well, maybe once you befriend Sparrow, then...
Hold on.
What about
Guys, hold on.
the ogre? One, two,
Buckle my shoe.
3. There's 3 ammo boxes.
4, shut the door.
Bullshit.
5, 6, bullshit.
Yeah, bull. Goddamn shit. Fucking goddamn. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, Pokesaurus, right now we're trying to figure out Discord. We're trying to figure out how to add people to Discord chat. And sticks it in his Resident Evil focus mode. Boom.
Yeah, Schnick's in goddamn redneck mode. That's what he's doing.
But yeah, as for movie monsters, as Mario tries to help Sparrow with his links, I don't know. I never really liked monster movies that much. Especially as a kid. I saw Gremlins when I was 4, and it freaked me the hell out. Maybe I was too young to watch at the time, but when I saw it, scared the hell out of me. Gremlins did, and I was... So.
God damn you, you brilly motherfucker.
Is there any monster movies that scared the hell out of you?
I'll admit, when it comes to horror movies, I primarily like slashers, where it's like a human killer and not a monster.
Yeah. I hate just, worst of all, I hate anything, because those have lots of bloody details, and I hate blood. I can't stand blood right now. When I get cut, I have to get bandaged right away. Not as bad as I used to be as a kid, but still, I don't like bloody situations if I can help it.
The Ogre Brothers say have an ogre good time.
So, Pokesaurus, do you have a Discord?
We are the Ogre Brothers.
Mario's having Sparrow's have his one up, I think. As for the original monsters, I don't know. I know your original monsters. Is that the one where the T-Rex came into not real life into San Francisco?
The Lost World?
I think that's the one. I think that's the one.
Yeah, that is the one where the dinosaurs went to the city.
I remember the first movie came out of that series. I was like 12 or 13. It's funny. Some of the people getting eaten was kind of in the first movie. Apparently it's a different one, not Jurassic Park, but a different movie has a T-Rex in it too. A lesser known one. I did not know there's a different T-Rex Lost World movie.
Okay, Sparrow. Try following the instructions here. Because what I'm hoping... right. Because what I'm hoping is these instructions will go through to Sparrow and it'll help him because the page doesn't exist. The page doesn't exist? Oh, really? Okay, internet,
Is it screen sharing? Is it screen sharing time?
Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, that's another chat.
It's time. It's Shrekky time.
What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck? Oh my god, now this thing is not working. Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah, not existing my ass, yeah. Good job, fucking YouTube links and shit. Okay, well, I'll just go through this real quick. Step 1. Click that thing. Okay. Step 2. Go click the circle with the plus button in it, right, like this. Step 3. Put in the link I sent in the join the server box. And then click join. And there you go. Tell me if you need to see that again.
The older brothers are trying to catch
Vandalia, I got this under control.
God damn it, die. Fuck. Bitch.
So, what about you, Snick? What's your most original monster?
I can't say.
Actually, I think about some of the... He's making some progress. Some of the ancient Greek monsters were pretty cool, like the sirens, you know, that lured people to their deaths.
I mean, I'll admit, I kind of think Death from the Final Destination series is a bit unique. Because instead of the stereotypical depiction of the Grim Reaper with holding a scythe that just throws sickles at, like, people that it needs to collect, in the Final Destination series, Death is a completely unseen entity. And literally all it does is manipulate real-world objects that would create freak accidents that would kill off the people that need to die. And another thing is, even though the first movie kind of shows Death as just a villain that has no regard for human life, the later movies kind of imply that Death doesn't do things because it wants to, it's because it has to. That's just kind of the balance of things, and sorry, all you survivors are collateral damage.
And if you survive, enter a Discord tag. Yeah, it seemed like that safe movie, you know, if you're meant to die, it catches up with you eventually.
That's exactly the point of the Final Destination movies. Like, if they cheat Death, it's meant to catch up with them. And that's the whole premise of the movies. Like, the people who survived their initial disaster because of a premonition that the main character has. Like, essentially, throughout the rest of the movie, all the characters that survived are being killed off in, like, freaking Rube Goldberg-style contraption accidents that because they were supposed to die in the accident. I mean, the thing in, like, the opening disaster, I mean, one thing that does get kind of ridiculous is that the traps get a hell of a lot too complex by the third and fourth movies, but 1, 2, and 5 keep it relatively simple.
There's 5 of them. There's 5 of them already. I thought my take there's only 3 of them.
No, there's 5 of them. There's
Wow.
1, 2, and 3. There was the 4th one that was called The Final Destination because it was meant to be the last one. But then a 5th movie ended up getting made, which was actually... See, the 5th movie probably had one of the biggest plot twists in a horror movie that was actually very clever. Like, for anyone who wants to know, spoiler warning, mute your computer for like 30 seconds. So, the disaster from the first movie is an airplane. It crashes. And so the 5th movie, it ends with 2 of the last remaining characters getting on an airplane. And at first you're like, oh, it's the 10th anniversary of the series. They're just paying tribute to the first movie. That's kind of cute. So the 2 main characters that survived, they're unloading their luggage into, like, the top compartment. And then all of a sudden, they hear an argument going on. They look over, it's the characters from the first movie getting thrown off the plane. And at that point, it's like a what the fuck moment. It's like, wait, they are on the plane from the first movie. And then you realize the reason why the first movie happened was because Death was trying to kill the last 2 characters from the 5th movie.
Ugh. Like
Vandalia,
full
like
circle.
I said, I got this under control. Please don't confuse him.
What'd you say, Vandalia?
So like it went full circle.
It went full circle. And obviously the 2 characters die in the crash from the first movie.
The second movie, that was the one with the traffic accident, right?
Yeah, the second movie had the pile-up, yes.
And the third was the roller coaster.
The third was the roller coaster. The 4th one was on a racetrack. Honestly, the 4th one was not that good. Like, I like the other ones because they're meant to be just campy fun. The 4th one, it is so ridiculous, and its plot... Like, at least the other movies tried to make you care about the characters. The 5th movie, the first 2 movies and the 5th movie did that the best.
So how did the rogue go machine work?
Like, now I have to just describe one of the traps. Okay. So, let's take the second movie, for example. The first guy to die is, like, this gangster-looking guy who won the lottery. He goes back to his apartment with all this expensive shit that he bought with his money that he got from the lottery. He goes inside, he throws some noodles that were, like, rotting out the window. And then he decides to cook himself. I forget what it was he was cooking. Like, he was cooking some kind of snack in the microwave. Or the oven. He puts it in, and then he's holding this ring that he's going to give to some girl he likes, but then he accidentally drops it, and it goes into the drain in the sink. So he reaches a hand in the sink, and then his hand gets trapped. And then the oven or microwave, whatever it was he turned on, it short circuits, and it catches fire.
The airplane?
No, it's not on the airplane. It's in his apartment.
Oh.
The funny thing is, the airplane, you don't really know why it crashes, but until the 5th movie unveiled, it was just Death fucking with things just to kill the 2 Final Destination 5 characters. But now, getting back to the death, so... from the second movie, so the microwave or oven, whatever, catches fire, and the guy can't get away from it or put the fire out because his hand's stuck in the sink. And he tries getting it out as hard as he can't pull it. And then eventually he finally gets it out, but by then the fire has gotten completely out of control, He gets a fire extinguisher to try and put it out, but the fire extinguisher is a dud. Then he tries to go out the windows, but then the windows just shut. And so he breaks through one of the windows and he climbs down a ladder right as the apartment explodes. He starts climbing down the ladder, but then the ladder is broken. So he tries to it's jammed. So he tries to force it down, but all that result is it's shaking and he falls off and lands on the sidewalk. But then he gets up and he's perfectly fine. But then remember the noodles he threw out the window? He slips on them. So he falls right on his back again, and his head is conveniently right underneath the ladder, which unjams and slams down and smashes through his eye.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And that caused the traffic accident?
No, that was after the traffic accident.
Oh.
What caused the traffic accident is that there was a truck with logs on it, and the chains on the logs weren't properly secured, so they fell apart, and the logs started hitting all the cars on the freeway or whatever it is, and they just spun out.
And what about the roller coaster?
The roller coaster, I think it's because one of the characters brought his camera on board when he wasn't supposed to, and if something caused the hydraulics of the coaster to leak. So the guy brings his camera on, and then he accidentally drops it, and it wraps around a part of the coaster. The coaster ends up running it over, which completely kills the hydraulics, and then the straps that keep people secured in the coaster, they fail. And this is an upside-down coaster, so obviously people can't hold on.
Jeez. What was the fourth? The fourth movie was a racetrack.
Yeah, the fourth movie's a racetrack, and it's the most ridiculous out of all the opening disasters. Legit. The thing is, on the racetrack, as soon as the first car crashes, I would think at that point the race cars have to stop, but no, they just keep going.
The bookstore was saying about a rat.
The subway accident was caused by a rat? Is he talking about the third movie? Because I know there was a subway accident in the third movie, but I don't remember that.
Ellen Terrell says the link's in Discord.
The flatulent organ. Fucking goddamn it.
to the Beyond page.
Jumbo Shrek.
We finally got Sparrow into the group chat.
Fucking my god, you son of a bitch! You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Get away from the tombstone. Get away from the...
Before we wrap this up, you guys say other topics do you have... I guess Mario's still on Discord. Mario's still playing... Mario's still...
Motherfucker, if you kill me, I swear to God!
I mean, I didn't really have anything else to talk about, to be quite honest.
I mean, we were just going off on, random topics to begin with.
True. So... It says, yeah, rat caused the blackout, and that's what killed them.
Oh, okay.
Well, next Friday I'm going to see Black Panther. So.
Oh, you are.
Guessing it yet?
I have not seen it. No.
I thought maybe talking about it. If you see it before then, maybe we can talk about it.
Maybe.
But I don't know if anything else to talk about today. We talked about DLCs. We talked about fake friends. And we talked about monsters. And we talked about Discord and how it links and the links apparently don't work half the time.
Now I hate those goodies.
How they make my stomach turn.
Well, bye, Pokesaurus. Anyways, I guess we could, even though it's not 2 hours, I guess we can wrap it up then.
How long have we been going for?
An hour 45
minutes.
That's cool.
Let's think of a Daily Onion segment to talk about.
A Daily Onion. Oh my god. Do I have a Schnick story to tell? Dude, does Schnick have a Schnick story? Let's see. Elementary school stories. I need to. Oh, there's 5th grade. It kind of ties into the fake friends kind of thing.
Cool. Mario, real fast. Daily Onion topic.
Oh, so Schnick just has a segment called Daily Onion now?
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Isn't that like an actual like web news thing, Daily Onion?
While daily is what they put on anything. Fucker.
Because I swear there's a website literally called the Daily Onion.
Alright, babe. I never see it. So what's your 5th grade fake friends?
Oh, these people could have been real friends, but I prevented that.
Oh no.
So, there were 3 boys that would talk with me on occasion. There was one boy who actually knew about the KH series, and I would not shut up about it. Even after he finished the game, and I was like, hey, guess what? He's like, what? I reached level 100. I'm not even playing KH1 anymore. So, eventually, as they got a bit more hostile towards me because I was being annoying, in fact, I would always spout random bullshit, and one kid would actually keep telling me, how are we supposed to use this information in life?
Wow, alright.
Kingdom Hearts is life, people. It is life.
And then, when I won some kind of trivia game or board game, I won this little notepad where I can jot down thoughts. I was like, oh, it's my diary.
What?
Literally, all it fucking was me jotting down about how people were being mean to me and how, oh, my hatred level for them has increased today.
Do you still have that? You still have that?
I unfortunately don't know where. I do not know where it would be. I don't think I have it.
It looks like it's my notebook from school still. That'd be awesome to go back and look at. See, wow.
Maybe it is fortunate. I don't know.
So, is that really? So,
oh my god, you motherfucker!
is that all? Is there more to it?
Well, I do remember. Let me think. Well, there is not much more to that story other than me restating the freaking obvious. Let me think. Was there another retarded thing I did? Oh, yeah. Towards the end of 5th grade, we had an activity called Westward Ho.
Westward Ho?
Essentially, we were reenacting the Oregon Trail.
Oh, I remember that. I used to play that game all the time in school.
Yeah, like, essentially, we were playing, like, settlers that were trying to move out west. Like, during the 1800s.
I think I only made it to the end of that game one time. I always died before I got to. I always died first before I got to the end.
So I'm put into a group, and let me tell ya, thank God I wasn't made leader. So there was one guy, one girl, and me that tried to nominate each other for leader. I was like, so the guy says, alright, how many people vote for me? There were like 2 votes. Alright, I'm like, okay. Starring the ancestors of Shrek.
What?
It's
What?
always goddamn
Is that really what you said? Oh wait, oh that's what Sparrow said. Oh.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, the guy got 2 votes. I think our group was 6 people.
So you each got 2 people, 3-way tie.
No, here we go. The guy gets 2 votes. Okay? He voted for himself as well. Of course. Alright, I was like, okay. Now how many people vote for me? Everyone else's reaction, they just look at me funny. Like, they have this face.
Really? So who'd you vote for?
Me.
Oh.
And then the girl got 3 votes, so she won. And, oh, and here's another middle school schnick story that was retarded. So there was like a 3-way split in trails. There was the shortcut, which apparently had Native Americans on the path. The long way, which didn't have much Native Americans on the path. And legit, there was a 3rd path that was literally a road to nowhere.
What?
Like it was a trail that was not mapped out yet. However, I wanted to go on the trail since it was said there were no Native Americans on the trail that would attack us. So I'm like, oh, let's go on the unfinished trail, road to nowhere. And the girl in the group, well, thankfully, she rightfully told me, no, we're going on the safe route. But you know what her reasoning was?
What?
Because there's a chance we can be attacked. Even though the teacher told us we're not going to get attacked. What's going to happen is we're going to get lost.
Wow. Schnick's reasoning was right? Whoa. Now that's something unusual.
Wait, my reasoning wasn't right?
Wasn't it? And did you not state that?
You mother...
Jesus Christ, Schnick! What the hell? What was that about?
Babies' kisses and babies' gargle for the blood.
Jesus fucking Christ, Schnick.
So you got here. Did you guys survive the end?
No, we didn't. No one made it to the trail. Everyone died, and that was more middle school schnick on display. The entire time we had a party to celebrate the end of the year, I was pretending to be a zombie. I kept saying, "Range, range."
An old west. I want to see. I want to see that now. I want to see an old west version of Walking Dead, like old west zombies.
Well, there is Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Wait, Walking Dead more like Walking West.
Yeah,
Western.
Walking West.
Old Western. I don't know.
By the way, say hi to my GBA SP I bought from the store today.
Oh, you haven't told that story yet on the podcast?
And Hauser's telling me to talk more. Oh, basically the short version is I got a GBA SP that was colored blue, except it literally looked as though the previous owner took whatever pencil or knife or whatever and just scratched the shit out of it on purpose. Not to mention the R button, yeah, the R button right here did not work. So I took that GBA back, and I got this nice little red one here, It has some scratches, maybe some dead pixels on the screen, but they're barely noticeable, and the thing fully works. Happy to have it.
Yeah, apparently they wouldn't let him open the package in the store.
Which I think is
So
fucking
I was
stupid.
gambling.
Yeah, that's a scam move in my opinion. Shouldn't be
Here
forced
is
to
my
not be able
GBA.
to see it before you purchase it.
See, apparently Hauser wants to hear a story from me. Apparently I need to talk more. Actually, if I do need to talk more, I don't talk very much.
Well, you have 5 minutes to talk, so...
Let's see. Story. I guess I can tell the story of how me and Hauser here recorded our first Let's Play together, Mario 1. Went over to his apartment. We used we used one of those old school mics that were like the $2 or $20 mini mic. And I think he even had a mic stand, I think he actually had a big mic too. I forget exactly how Mike. But yeah, for the first few episodes, we did post commentary on Mario World. He played Mario, I played Luigi, and I kind of stuck to the game after so long. But I did remember some stuff, and we just basically recorded the entire all 96 exits, being the game with finally Bowser beat the game. And then next we played Turtles 2, the arcade game. That's over on his channel. And I think we did the same thing for a while. I did Leonardo, he did Michelangelo because of the M and L again. But I died a lot, and we used cheats. We used some cheat codes there too. We did 30 lives. Or we did level skips, or we did lots of lives. Either way, I died again because I'm a terrible gamer. And the third game we played together was Link to the Past. Oh, we also where I was pretty much the walkthrough, like I am. He played the game basically, and I was the walkthrough. I told him where to go and stuff. Kind of like how I am with Snick Play. Kind of like how I am with Snick's playing Kingdom Hearts. I was his walkthrough for that game too. And we also made. So we did that. I still want to do a Secret of Mana co-op with Hauser. I'm still waiting on him to do that on his Super Nintendo on both our channels. I'm still waiting for that Matt, Secret of Mana. That'd be awesome. Let's play to do. But also, one of my most popular videos that I made of Hauser was our Super Nintendo top 20 countdown. That's still my most viewed video to this date. Was it changed? But yeah. And we also made on his channel top 10 Secret of Mana enemies, which is pretty cool, and top 10 power-ups. So I guess that's my story. With me and my collab with Hauser here in chat. I don't know if he's still there or not, but.
Wow. Well, it's been 1 hour and 58 minutes, almost 59 minutes, so should probably start wrapping this up.
Alright, so Snick, any final words about our topics today?
Not really. I think, yeah, we covered quite a bit today, though.
Yeah.
Hey, about you, Mario, any final words about our four topics? Or 5 topics?
Not really. I mean, just making friends is hard. If a store tells you that you can't look at an item before they sell it to you, then that's fucked up. And and I personally don't think they're a good store at that point. And I don't know anything about zombie movies or whatever.
Wah, wah,
Yeah, wah,
wah, wah.
So, to wrap it up, remember, folks, let's do co-op games with your friends. Make sure they're real friends, and they're not fake friends. Discord needs to get their shit in gear and make it easier to invite people to groups.
It is easy though. You just don't know what to do.
And DLCs. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but prices are weird.
Yep.
And anyways, remember, folks, never stop learning, and as always, enjoy the randomness. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Oh, also I'm doing a live stream after this. I don't know when, but it's not going to be exactly, maybe within 30 minutes or so. So check that out on my channel.
Okay. What are you streaming?
I think I'll be doing some video transcripting like I did a week ago. I wanted to do that for a while and just didn't get the time.
Yeah, because of that, I might not stream today.
Okay.
Bye.
But I'll think about it.